as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Cleveland Browns.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Cleveland.
He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive.
Now he's into the clear.
Inside the 20.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
74 yards.
And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon.
They're the favorite, no question. And when they score like that on the opening drive to set the tone, you're the underdog on the other bench. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't bring the home crowd into it, because you're counting on that to be a part of your equalizer, ride their momentum. But you have to give them something to cheer for. So now what you're worried about is they're better than we are. We can't get going. Are we about to get blown out?
Good news, still a long way to go.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this ball is not going to get to the 20, so this is going to be whistled dead, and the ball's going to be placed up at the 40-yard line.
It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
From the gun, it's Shador.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Got an open man. That's David the Joker, the tight end. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 88 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Yellow.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Chiefs are off to a 13-0 first-quarter lead.
Butker now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a...
Just a Game 909, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Gamer Saloon, man. Thanks for the content.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Shifts by him.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Browns drive about to get started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Oh, poor throw there, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton.
And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Let's turn that mic on, nigga. 21-0 first quarter. Turn it on, nigga. Mo paid up. Turn that mic on, man.
16 here for 1st and 10.
Yellow.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Toss right side to Pacheco.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving. The running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exact.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City.
Noah Gray.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chiefs have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now 21-0.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Cleveland offense ready to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Off the bootleg, here's Sanders.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Going up top.
That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
On the ground, it's 4. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Let's go.
Now Sanders.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1.
21-0 our score after 1.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
They'll indeed go for it. It's Sanders.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and that will force a turnover on downs. Now Mahomes.
They'll drop this off to Pacheco.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Mahomes now to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he will not be able to hang on
through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Yellow, yellow. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Noah Gray. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6.
And there's a situation where as a tight end, once he gets that end zone in his sights, he's not going to back down from anyone. He doesn't worry about running to daylight. He doesn't mind running through contact. That's totally fine by him.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Chiefs 28, Browns 0. Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Hey, bro, just quit. I don't even want to play no more.
Sanders. And that is taken in by Njoku.
Hurry, 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 hurry. 19, Tiger, 19,
17
Tiger.
yards. That's good.
Cougar, 19.
Browns. 1st down.
Throwing, Sanders. Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end.
Ready.
Out of the gun here, Sanders. Now he'll tuck this and run. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 27.
That's another Browns 1st down.
Sanders going to throw again. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. He finds his man complete. That's Ford.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. To throw is Sanders. His throw incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone is in a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They've been burned
twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Sanders once more. Now he's going to step up and run. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Go get up out of here.
In front.
Nice job escaping the pocket. Boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Let's go.
Now Watson. And that's going to be caught for the Browns. Touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Browns are able to cut into that deficit. Point after here coming up. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now.
Makes the score. Chiefs 28, Browns 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They toss it to Pacheco.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He'll try and do this himself.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I don't quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Well, throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Pat the street. Pat the street.
To the air yet again, Watson.
Now a run here off the RPO, and he'll keep it.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
48 more yards. That's another Browns first down.
Now it's Watson.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Okay, ready?
Here's 2nd and 10. Watson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Ready, ready.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
Here we go, here we go. Ready, ready.
Looking to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown. To the end zone and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
22-yard line. A 2-yard pickup.
Here's Watson. He'll try and do this himself. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Get up.
Back to throw. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this one is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. Well, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent there.
They've got his man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for KC. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
And the 1st down, Chiefs.
On play action, it's Mahomes.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 22.
Kansas City Chiefs. First and goal, Kansas City.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Touchdown!
Isaiah Pacheco
From 3 yards out.
and the Chiefs take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Round 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played.
And now Watson throws another interception. And the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Yellow. Let's go, Lou, Eddie.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Yellow.
A gain of 22 yards. First down, Chiefs.
Mahomes going to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing now is Mahomes.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Now it's Mahomes again.
And Mahomes will do it himself.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now here's Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Browns drive about to get started. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, 71 yards. And the Browns get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point,
that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's Smith to return it.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, 57 colors, 57 colors. Yellow.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Up past the 30, second down coming up.
We're good.
He's brought down at the 31. It's a pickup at 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
108 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Again, it's Pacheco.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
A give right side for Pacheco.
They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
3 yards.
Yellow.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Pacheco is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they take a knee. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it.
But it's not going to work. He'll go down, and they got him.
Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He'll try to do it himself.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Xavier Worthy
from 6 yards away.
And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Third, right there.
To throw is Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. But the man downfield is Judy. He's got it.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Only if it was time enough for you to do that play 10 more times, so you might win.
And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find it.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs.
I gave you the ball back, B.
Marquise Brown, 44 yards.
And the Chiefs have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try.
Mahomes will throw for it.
And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Watson now to throw.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
First down.
Hey, check that. Street.
21-yard line.
Again, it's Watson.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Well, here's a classic second guess. I thought he had a better chance of a positive play if he just ran it himself. The coverage downfield was really good. That one falls incomplete.
Right, come on.
Back to throw, Watson. Touchdown, Browns.
Jamari Thrash.
A 20-yard touchdown.
And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for two here. They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the two-point conversion here. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Mahomes going to throw it here. And that is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
Now he's going to step up and run.
Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas. It looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long. When they throw the football, they're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
Yellow. I'll go up. Yellow.
Mahomes now to throw. Stiff-armed him. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now Mahomes. It's complete right around the 8. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Fire down these two.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
from 4 yards out, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So that is going to tie an NFL record that has stood for more than 70 years. 7 touchdown passes in one game. It was first done by Sid Luckman of the Bears in 1943, then by Adrian Burke of the Eagles in 54, and now that mark equaled here in this one.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the two-point try. They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead.
Well, I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation.
GG's, man.
We'll see what they do here.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say